Hi, I'm Matthew Burchette, and this is Curator on the Loose. Does this view look familiar? I hope so, because we're about to make the jump to lightspeed. All right. Punch it, Chewie! One of the great things about the Star Wars films are the epic space battles. You got X-Wings going after TIE fighters. You got Y-Wings going after Star Destroyers. You got the Enterprise Oh, no, never mind. Anyway, they are amazing, but what I bet you didn't know is that ILM engineers, that's Industrial Light and Magic, those guys actually developed their version of space battles from World War I and World War II dogfights. How cool is that? One of the most iconic ships in the Star Wars saga is the Millennium Falcon. Now, the Falcon started out as a standard Corellian YT-1300 light freighter, but Lando Calrissian and Han Solo made some serious modifications to make the Falcon the speedy bird she was. One of the amazing things about Star Wars is the view from the cockpit of the Falcon. There are so many shots looking out that front cockpit window. This is a B-29 Super Fortress cockpit, and now you can see where the Falcon got its cockpit. It's so cool! You know, there are other things about the Falcon that also stemmed from the B-29. Let's go check those out. All right, this is where it gets weird. The gun turrets on the Falcon are kind of hard to figure out. They're on the top and the bottom of the fuselage, kind of like the turrets on the B-29. There were turrets down below and there were turrets up top. But the gunners sat nowhere near the gun turret. They weren't in it. They were actually sitting in the fuselage about 30 feet away. Now, on the Millennium Falcon, it's anybody's guess. The gun turret is on the top and on the bottom, but if you look at some of the stills, it looks like maybe the gunner is in the turret, but I don't think so, because it doesn't make any sense. How would you sight? But it is Star Wars, and do we really care? No, because it's cool. Does this look familiar? It should. If you've seen Phantom Menace, okay, it's not my favorite movie, but it's got some amazing ships in it. And this plane, the M21 Blackbird, featured heavily in the design of one of those ships. Which one? The J-type 327 Nubian Royal Starship. Come on, you remember? It's Queen Amidala's super silver sleeky spaceship that she rides around in. And if you remember that ship and you compare it to this plane, then you begin to realize where the ILM designers started to get their cues. This long, pointed nose with the chines, those giant intake spikes, and how the wing is fared into this amazing fuselage. It all begins to make sense. Did you also know that that super chrome finish comes from 1950s hood ornaments from American cars? That, my friend, is cool. Oh, pod racer engine. One of the most iconic moments in Star Wars: A New Hope is when a Corellian C90 Corvette comes right over your head at the very beginning of the movie. That ship was the Tantive 4, and as a kid, I was hooked. But you know what's really cool? Is that some of the designs about that ship really stemmed from the Boeing B-29 bomber. Especially this part, the ball turret. This turret allowed a gunner to take care of all below that bomber and defend it from German or Japanese planes. And designers at ILM actually kind of used this to put a turret onto the Karelian ship. But guess what? They also put waist guns, just like the B-17 and B-24 had in World War II. How cool is that? Colin Cantwell's original design for the TIE Fighter was something spawned from just a few scribbles. But when artist Joe Johnston began refining the design, he added more detail, like the sound of the ship. In an interview, he said, "In World War II, the super dive bombers had an artificially created siren whale. It didn't serve any purpose except to create a noise which would terrify people. You know, that totally makes sense. There's nothing more sinister in the Star Wars universe than a TIE fighter coming at you." Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in for this episode of Curator on the Loose. It was so awesome to have you here, and it was even better to find out how real-life warplanes and their designs translated right into the Star Wars saga. I love when that kind of stuff happens. But now it's time to check out the movie. Oh yeah. All right, let's go. Ooh, this is gonna be awesome. Yes. Oh my God. Stupid Empire.